we just sued, and the FBI has agreed to process our request for all the Comey records. Now, we found after we sued the FBI for ourselves and the Daily Caller News Foundation, and CNN's also involved in the case, I think others are as well, for the Comey memos that the FBI and Justice Department are withholding improperly from us. Unfortunately, the court has ruled initially they can. But they admitted they found the memos in this archive of Comey records that comprise of 16,750 pages of records. So we saw them talk about that in that case, and we said, well, give us those records too. So they said, well, they'll process them for us. And of course, they ignored our request initially, so we had to sue. And then after we sued, we found they gave us this letter saying that we'll process them for a fee, which we're agreeing to move along to get the records. So we want to know about these records, obviously, because Mr. Comey, it's not just about the Russia collusion scandal, it's about the Clinton email scandal and a whole host of other issues that are important to the American people. It's obviously of great historic interest, the records of Mr. Comey, the controversial FBI director, who was fired by President Trump. So the question is now, how quickly will the FBI move to release these records to Judicial Watch? And so we hope that there's a new page that's being turned over at the FBI and they start responding to these records requests in a timely way. And more importantly, they don't withhold information unreasonably. So I just want you to let you know that they're withholding improperly, in my view, the Comey memos, which doesn't augur well for the other documents that we now know are out there. But we want all the Comey records. Now, we know there are some records we can't get if it's classified properly, and I'm sure there are documents we're not going to be able to get. But a lot of documents that are withheld from Judicial Watch and anyone else who requests information under the Freedom of Information Act, you know, they say it's classified or it's law enforcement sensitive or it's deliberative process, and these are all exemptions the government uses to withhold information from you and from Judicial Watch. But almost all of those categories of exemptions, all of those excuses to withhold information are discretionary, meaning it's a political decision. It's not a decision required by law. If we ask for your Social Security number, the law prohibits the agencies from giving it to us. I mean, that's clear. But if we ask about discussions about the decision to target Donald Trump using a DNC Clinton paid-for dossier that they knew was dodgy, that's a political decision not to release that information to us because they want to cover up their corruption or their conduct that would be subject to controversy. So those are the sorts of fights we're always in with the government here. And we have filed, I think, at least 75 lawsuits against the Trump administration on transparency issues. And I have little doubt the president wants to be transparent on pretty much everything we're asking about. But these agencies are still in deep state mode. And the appointees running the agencies are oblivious to the needs for transparency and the American people's desire for transparency. And in the case of the FBI and Justice Department, they are the absolute worst when it comes to transparency. These are the agencies, Justice Department, charged with enforcing the Freedom of Information Act. So just so you know, when we ask for FBI documents, we technically sue the Justice Department because the FBI is a subset of the Justice Department. And they're the worst of the worst when it comes to following the law.